Hi, it's Mike Murdock of DocMurdock.com, and I just wanted to take a few minutes here and share a little bit with you about an application known as Tweetdeck. Tweetdeck is the window that you see in front of me here. It is a Twitter application that allows you to monitor a lot of information at once. And just to point out some highlights of this here, actually Tweetdeck, if you click on this, will take you to their website directly. The current version is something you really don't need to be concerned about, although when you launch this application, it will update itself if it needs to. These buttons, each of them has information attached to it. If you simply roll your mouse across it, you will see various things that you can do. And if you're familiar with Twitter, you can actually tweet something or create a new message by clicking this button. Notice the window changes. You can look at all of your friends' tweets. If you don't have that column already up, this actually would create a column. The same thing with replies and the same thing with direct messages. But actually, these are three of my favorites, so I keep them on the screen at all times. That's actually very helpful for me to see that information. I can also look at my favorites if I want to. If I click that, notice that column comes up. And then what I can do also is, if I want to remove that column and take that away. So it'll go away, and I can put my profile back up. When you want to see somebody's profile, you simply click on their name. It will show you information about that person. The one thing I don't like about this application is when you look at a profile, you can't keep that on the screen while you do a tweet. Notice what happens. I click on tweet and the profile goes away. So that's a little disconcerting if you want to see somebody's information while you're, typing to them or whatever. So anyway, this is me, my website, DocMurdock.com. This is how you follow me on Twitter. So if you're watching this video on YouTube and you want to follow me on Twitter, please do. You can also find me on Facebook. Simply search for Doc Murdock, all one word, and you'll be able to find me on there. Okay? So let's get back to the application. So if you roll your mouse over any one of these buttons, you'll see the information pop up. If you wanted to form a group, you could actually do that and then add people to the group. Simply call this maybe even just something simple like my group. And the application is, like I was saying, you want to give the thing a name like my group, and then you would actually select who you wanted to be members of that group. And just check off their names, and once you did that and click Save, it will form a new list and show you the updates for those particular people. Okay. Now there is also a search function in here. You can search for anything on Twitter that you want to. That includes, I guess, maybe even look for different subject matter. So if we just type in, let's say, marketing, and we search for that, then a bunch of stuff would come up relative to marketing. Okay, actually a whole new column came up relative to marketing, and that can be good and bad, and I'll show you this in a second here. So I'm going to remove this column. I'm also going to remove the group column here and get rid of that. So I'm putting my profile back up here so you can see that. Now there is the Twit Scoop. That is another little piece of information. I've never used it, and I don't want to cover it here. The 12-second sort of, I guess, a window pops up and will tell you what's going on every 12 seconds, and then twits about stocks. Now, over on the right-hand side, I want to call something out. Okay, so in the right-hand side here, when you see this counter where it says remaining API, every user on Twitter gets this number when they first start out, shows as 100 by 100. So in other words, this is the number of requests or number of times the window can refresh over the course of an hour. My current refresh time will reset at 4:23. That's military time. 16 is 1600 hours. And I'm on Arizona time, so 1623 is 4:23. This counter will reset and become 100 by 100. Now, out of that 100, depending on the number of columns that I have available or shown, that number will decrease by the number of columns. So if I have 3 columns in this case, when I click this should actually go down to 65 when I click refresh. So if I click refresh, this actually drops down. Now you see that dropped to 65. So if I just kept clicking refresh, that number would decrease by 3 all the way down to 0, and all of a sudden I would find myself locked out of the Twitter until that counter reset. Now, a few people have approached me and said, wow, that's really frustrating. One woman actually pointed out that she had 10 columns, and she clicked that thing 10 times, and all of a sudden she found out she couldn't get into Twitter for an hour. It's true. I don't know why they have set it up this way. It's a little bit weird, in my own humble opinion. For an application to do this, but it's actually also really great information to have available, because you know then how many refreshes you have left. If you ever need to change that frequency of refresh, you simply go into the settings area here, and a window will pop up. There's a number of things in here that you can change. Okay, so you can actually also, the other thing is, when you look at profiles, this is a key one here. If you click on Open Profiles in a web page, that will save you some of these API calls. Now, API stands for Application Programming Interface. Developers use this as a reference guide, but regular Twitter people need to know that magical number, okay, that 100 requests per hour. If you go over you can't go over the 100. It'll actually literally shut you out of the application until that hour is gone by. So that's what that number means. But if you click on this, then instead of having a profile show up here in a column, it will actually show up elsewhere in a web page, and that's a beautiful thing for you. So you can do that. I don't look at this. Actually, I don't use Tweetdeck that often yet. It is still in development, but when I do start using it more often, I will actually go in and check this off. So it will save me some calls and save me some refreshes here, so I can be on more. Now, you can actually adjust the timer in here. You can set this to be very quick, or you can set it up to be very lengthy. So if you set it every 20 minutes, then what will happen is the program will automatically run every 20 minutes or 30 minutes here. It will refresh itself for you, and that will save you on this number as well. So it's totally up to you how you use it. I'm just pointing out to you that you only have 100 to go, and every time you click that refresh button, it will decrease by 3 or more. Actually, in this case, it decreased by more because I have a profile open, which is my own. If I close this and then click, it should go from 59 down to 56. Let's click that, and it did. So, something to be aware of, okay? So this is just a quick overview of Twitter. Down here at the bottom, you can see these columns. You can shift columns around. You can filter tweets to do stuff by screen name. You can mark everything as seen. You can clear them. You can actually clear them again. Clear the ones you've seen, and clear everything in the window. Totally up to you how you shift stuff around, how you move it. It's totally up to you. Okay, I just wanted to show you this as an example, and my time is almost up here. So in here, I will just say roll your mouse over a picture. You'll find some things that you can do with regards to people's tweets, and I hope you found this information helpful. Come and see me on the web at www.docmurdock.com. That's DOCMURDOCK.com. And you can also follow me on Twitter as Doc Murdock, and I'm happy to be here and be of assistance to you. And for some reason, the application just went into bye-bye mode, so it's a good time to end this. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you on the